We'll call this meeting to order. That minutes show that this Carroll County Fiscal Court regular scheduled meeting February 24th, 2026 at 9 a.m. If you would please, if you have cell phones, if you would please silence them. And at this time, we'll stand up and do please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Our dear Heavenly Father, again, we're just so thankful for this day that you've given us, Lord. We're thankful for the beautiful sunrise this morning, Lord, and we're just thankful for the freedoms we have in this country together and talk about our community business, Lord. Just grant us wisdom throughout the course of these conversations and discussions, Lord. I just hope and pray that you will be with all those that protect us, Lord, both here at home and those abroad, Lord. The savers right on again, just be with them, be with our leaders at a national level, Lord, as they deal with some of these challenging situations, Lord. Be with those in our community that are ill, those that have lost loved ones, Lord, and be with them. These things we ask in Jesus Christ. Amen.
We need a motion to approve the minutes of February 10th.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Budget transfers, a motion, please. Scott, all in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Invoice approval,
I'll make the motion.
Benji. Second by Clay, all in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
And North Key. Yep, there's.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Danielle Amrine. I'm the CEO of North Key, and I'm very grateful this morning to be able to present in front of you today. I just brought some information about North Key and the services that we provide here in your community. I know we've been here a long time, but we've not been very active or very present. And I'm the new CEO as of 8 months ago, so I'm hoping to change that. Growing up in a very rural community, I know how important it is to have active services in the community to be able to get people connected. So we do have an office here in Carroll County. It's right off 227. And we have several services that we provide out of that building. Our services offered for Carroll County residents, we do outpatient therapy for adults, family, and children, case management, including homeless services, veteran services, peer support services, substance use services, group IOP, medications for opioid use disorder, medical services, primary care, and psychiatric prescribing services, prevention, we do trainings like suicide prevention for the community and out for certain businesses, and then tabling at different events. And then we have crisis and stabilization. So our mobile crisis can respond to a crisis incident, or we have a mental health urgent care. It's located in Kentucky, or in Covington, but we are able to send out transportation and get transportation to our facility and back home. So you can look at the next slide for services provided and the amount of people served 2024 versus 2025. We are seeing an increase in services year over year, specifically in rural counties. Part of that is need, but part of that is our commitment to staffing up and providing more staff and more services for the individuals that reside in the county. So total clients for 2024, we had 855. We've seen an increase to 887 individuals served. Total visits, 13,418 in 2024, and then an increase of 13,454. 2024, we had 0.6 of the staff member. In 2025, we raised that to 2.4. Since last year, we started school-based services in all 4 Carroll County schools. We hired 1 additional full-time therapist, 1 engagement specialist at the Carroll County location, who also is a community health worker. And then lastly, we have a success story, an example of teamwork during a client crisis. A 68-year-old client with bipolar disorder is experiencing a crisis. On Sunday, the client's therapist received a phone call from the after-hours worker at New Vista stating that client requested a callback. Therapist called the client twice. On the second phone call, they initiated a psychotherapy session to de-escalate the client, who was highly escalated in extreme anger as he was experiencing hypomanic episodes and making suicidal statements. Client had been to the ER and was diagnosed with pneumonia and was angry that his PCP had not diagnosed him correctly. The therapist de-escalated the client, assessed for suicide risk, and made a referral to the crisis team. The crisis team responded, and 12 visits were made by crisis team, mobile response care coordination, nurse care coordination, medication access coordination, and peer support. All of these services together followed through ensuring the client's safety, medications were refilled, and he was introduced to peer support. The crisis team made 4 follow-ups, and when the client called, stated he was doing well and he had planned to see his therapist in 3 days. We are very fortunate to serve the people of Carroll County. I take that responsibility very seriously. We know that mental health, behavioral health, substance use is a concern in all of our communities. It's rising in some of our communities, and we are here to provide that support for the community. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any needs, if you guys need anybody to help sit around the table and brainstorm, that is why I'm here today, to offer North Key services, to become a partner, and to build those relationships. So, do you guys have any questions?
Does Masters have any questions or anything that you'd like to?
Not right now.
Sure.
What are the hours of the urgent care in Covington?
24 hours.
Okay, and do they have admitting privileges to the psychiatric hospitals in Northern Kentucky?
Yes, they will send somebody, if somebody comes to us and we feel they are unsafe, we'll have an assessment done.
Okay.
And we feel like they need that higher level of care, and we will send them.
And you all transport them in 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times what we have trouble with is in our local hospital, people present to the ER and they are deemed by the ER doctor to be suicidal. And the problem is they voluntarily want services, but transportation is an issue.
Yeah.
So we can't send them to the hospital on their own because they've been deemed suicidal. We also can't send the sheriff because they're voluntary at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually have to tie up our ambulances. Is that something you all can assist us with instead of tying up a DLS or an ALS ambulance?
I think we would like to sit down around the table and brainstorm and see what we can offer.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm hesitant to talk for my team.
Okay.
But I think we would love to sit around and brainstorm to see what kind of solutions we can come up with. And the transportation for that, for 202As, is a major issue across the entire state. And there's a bill going through the House right now for 202A amendments. Transportation is not really addressed in that amendment, unfortunately, but we know that that's something historically that we need to address.
I'll make this comment that everything we plan or they plan to do, transportation is the last thing they look at. And it's probably one of the most important things. We don't have
Right.
transportation, not just this kind of look. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. We'll set up a time we can get together.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, the interlocal agreement with Kentucky counties.
Can we pass that for just a minute, Tara?
Yes, sir.
We can bump it down to us for a second.
Okay.
I'm waiting on staff to bring something.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll move to county clerk excess fees for 2025. You've seen that in your packet, so just want to make note of that. The Northern Kentucky Ads Commodity Program, will, you have that in your packet also. That's what we recommend to do. You want to talk a little bit more about that, Carroll, while you're here?
Yes, sir. Does anyone need another copy, same thing? Just in case. Here you are.
The same thing we talked about last meeting.
You got it. Okay. All right. Well, first of all, thank you all so much. Is it on the screen?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So thank you for having me today. I really appreciate being on your busy agenda. I also just wanted to add, just very briefly, that our team has very much appreciated the opportunity to collaborate recently, like with the community forum that was hosted in December, and in other ways too. So we are very grateful for those opportunities. Right now on the agenda, so I have two things. I bring forward a request. I have probably too much information about this, so I'm going to keep my initial remarks brief, but if you have questions, I can probably tell you a whole lot. So basically, as you know, we operate many different programs in the region, allowing collaboration to occur, as well as facilitating collaboration when it's required. And so in this case, this is funds and food that comes from the United States Department of Agriculture, surplus food program, and then it goes to the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, not maybe physical food, doesn't necessarily make that trip, but the funding stream does. And then we locally, so for 10 counties in this case, normally we're 8, but it's 10 counties in this case, we make sure as the intermediary that all of the local food pantries that want to participate in either the Emergency Food Assistance Program, called TFAP, or the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, or CSFP, these are boxes for seniors, that those get distributed across the 10-county region. And so that might be milk, it might be frozen chicken, it might be cans of peaches, it might be cheese, anything in between. It can be frozen, refrigerated, fresh, or non-perishable canned. And so we do everything from coordinating with the state, working with the truck people. We operate a warehouse on Mount Zion Road in Independence, and then just making sure all of that works. So last fiscal year, the changes at the federal government meant that the state was started not being able to pay what our contract stated that we would be paid in order to do those operations. So again, these are costs like turning on the lights at the warehouse, paying for things to be, having a forklift, these are fixed costs. And so last year, the Area Development District actually filled in that gap, hoping that this year would be different. But unfortunately, we have been informed, as your letter states, by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture that they anticipate about a 15 to 20% shortfall in the contract that we have with them. And that would give us about approximately $100,000 funding gap. The food is still coming, but we still have to pay the cost to keep it and to distribute it. And so we worked with our team. The third page of your document that has this kind of pretty colorful chart, and we came up with multiple ways that we can potentially take that $100,000 shortfall and divide it out amongst the 10 counties that we serve, looking at 3 different kind of aspects. One is just population size, one is poundage of food going to the TFAP program, and then the third is the number of pantries. Number of pantries is relevant because we have data and different things and interactions with the staff time between all the different pantries. So a county with a lot more pantries, that is a lot more staff time. So anyway, then we average those across to get to scenario 4, and as you can see, we calculated that
the Carroll County component of if we wanted to try to fill that gap, which we do want to fill it, hopefully for this fiscal year, is $3,300, and I'm going to round up to $33. And so I respectfully come today asking for assistance in filling that funding gap. I also will let you know that I am also actively working on strategizing for next fiscal year if the state and the federal government are not able to provide truly accurate details of what they're going to provide us to do this program, then we're probably going to need to figure out some other solution. But what we very, very, very much want to ensure is that whatever happens is a totally smooth process, and that our food pantries and the people that need these supports are supported, and they don't have some shock, that there would be an interruption of service or something like that. Not included in your package, because I just got this information yesterday. I did have some general info in the letter, but I can let you know that the number of households receiving the Emergency Food Assistance Program in Carroll County has been on the rise. So 2024, it was 116 households, 25 was 119, but this fiscal year, the average, this is monthly. So monthly households. So that doesn't, it could be different people each month, but for whatever reason, this is how we track this. It's 167 households on average monthly receiving food. That's through the food pantry of Carroll County. And then CSST, those are the food boxes. Even though we actually ended up having a bit of a decrease in the number that we could give out, there's still overall an increase for Carroll. In 24, it was 93 individuals monthly receiving those. In 2025, it was 114 on average monthly. And then this year so far, it's been an average of 119 individuals monthly receiving those food boxes. So I'm going to, we have received commitments from some of our other counties, and we hope that Carroll County will join them in allowing us to make sure that this program continues.
Okay, we talked about this last fiscal meeting on the 10th.
Okay.
And, we all came to agreement we was going to do that. I was under the impression, or we thought that we were supposed to do some type of resolution, but I think we agreed to the board meeting to go ahead and do this.
Or that it's necessary.
I can send like invoice.
Send one.
Debbie's
right there.
I'll send it yours. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Are we ready for the resolution now? Okay. We'll move up to the interlocal agreement among Kentucky County, which is Moon, Campbell, Carroll, Gallatin, Green, Kenton, Owen, and Pendleton.
The little tab that says sign here, that's apparently all they could find to mark the spot where there was a very slight contextual change to the document from what was in your packet. So just wanted to make sure that I could point that out. It just outlines if there was a situation ever where there were funds that needed to be returned, how that we would go about doing that following federal policy guidance from the Department of Labor 15-002. So anyway, back to the top. This is something that we need to do on a fairly regular basis. We did it about 3 years ago, where we come to you. So totally switching gears, one of the other things that the Area Development District administers is workforce development funding and programming. And so this, in a short way, is to say we connect job seekers and employers to one another. The longer way is to say we administer the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, which is federally funded and then passes through the Kentucky Cabinet for Education and Labor on behalf of the 8 participating counties. So these are your funds. You, in a different process, select a fiscal agent, sub-grant recipient to administer those. You've selected the Area Development District. That'll be up for renewal in a few years. But this is just the administrative process where you say that yes, you agree to work with the other counties in the designated workforce area to administer those funds.
Nick, if we have to do anything else on this,
We've got the resolution ready. I'll make a motion to read the resolution.
okay. Motion by Scott, second by Clay, all in favor say aye. Opposed?
Now therefore be resolved by the Carroll County Fiscal Court, Carroll County Judge Executive hereby authorized to execute the interlocal agreement between Campbell, Galveston, Grant, Kenton, Owens, and Milton County for administration of programs and funds under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. Be it further resolved by the Carroll County Fiscal Court that the Carroll County Judge Executive is authorized to act on behalf of Carroll County, carrying out all the duties, responsibilities, requirements, and conditions as set forth in said interlocal agreement.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Scott, second by Clay, all in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else there?
Not today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Another resolution to be read, and this is the urging the Kentucky General Assembly to pass House Bill 557. That's got reference to the jail and the detention centers and all. Need a motion to read that resolution. Do you have anything you want to talk about, ma'am?
We just want to say, at the detention center, we're in full support of House Bill 557.
You are in support of it?
With that,
You are?
we are in support of it. Right now, on average, we make around 35, 34 state inmates. And we're shipping anywhere between 20 to 30 state inmates a month. But the actual cost is around $63.44 to keep these state inmates in our facility. So we are in full support of House Bill 557.
Okay.
Make the motion to read the resolution now.
Second by Clay. All in favor say aye. Opposed?
Now therefore be resolved by the Carroll County Fiscal Court that the Carroll County Fiscal Court recognizes the urgent financial challenges associated with operating county jails and having inmates and commend State Representative Michael Merritt for his leadership in addressing this issue. The Carroll County Fiscal Court respectfully urges Representative Felicia Raker representing Carroll County to co-sponsor House Bill 557 and support its passage during the 2026 regular session. The Carroll County Fiscal Court respectfully urges the Kentucky General Assembly to pass House Bill 557 during the 2026 regular session. The clerk of the Carroll County Fiscal Court is directed to transmit a copy of this resolution to members of the Kentucky House of Representatives and Kentucky State Senate representing Carroll County.
Okay, motion to adopt. Second by Clay, all in favor say aye. All right, this is just informational that the Arts Board for Carroll, Arts Board here in the county, they requested to use the courtyard on, I think it's May 15th. For the band, Carroll County High School Band, Carroll County Middle School Band, they just wanting to use the court. It's in celebration of the 250-year birthday, so anniversary. So just letting you all know. I told them it's okay. I worked with a construction crew here, and they're aware of the situation also. Radio tower update, there's not much. They're starting back on, working on the radio tower. I did meet with another group the other day from a different company, not on the radio tower, but on the radios themselves and situations. And about the upgrade of the other water towers that we have in the county. They're going to do their survey and get back with us. And we will probably have some stuff to submit in for the grant coming Friday by, so we can get that submitted into it. So that's about it on that. They should be up here while the weather, the ground frozen. They can do some work, but when it thaws out, that rain is not going to be, it's going to sink. So anyway. Department head, got some stuff from Nancy. Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
Yes, most of you all know about like the polar bear plunge. And I asked Cole Crawford to come with me today because I personally think it's crazy to jump in cold water. However, Cole jumped in cold water twice. Once in Lexington and then this past Saturday in Louisville. And the one in Lexington, the air temperature alone was 20 degrees.
She ain't getting the woods.
They actually had to dip out chunks of ice out of the water before they could jump in. And I wanted to recognize him because he did it twice, and he raised over $600. So I just wanted to recognize him for that.
Well, we appreciate that, and Cola, we appreciate you out at the Hope Center. I know you help a lot out there, and you're a big part of it. So congratulations to you and on all you do out there and all the money you raise for this. You're welcome. Okay, Carroll County Dispatch, I didn't get nothing this morning, so nobody's here from there. Solid Waste, PJ.
Y'all have my report. I sent the annual report from last year. I think everyone, y'all got that right. And I just wanted y'all to show you guys what, kind of what it entails and what has to be done. In 2027, we will have our 5-year report. It has to be done, so we can put any ideas or anything that we possibly want to do or implement, anything different, we'll go into that. Also, I think is the sheet on there from the iWorks. I was kind of playing around with the reports part of it, and it'll do different things. You can build different, and it kind of just shows like what cases we can kind of do each month and how many there is. I think it's like 79 at this point. There's different ways to do it. They have like a couple wheel that you can do. So I just didn't get a lot of training on that part of it, but I've been just kind of looking at it myself and just seeing what we're doing. But is there any questions on any of that?
Yeah, I guess the iWork stuff, I appreciate you including this because we've seen that. So I guess just some questions. I mean, there's some that are dating back to like June. So so that's obviously 6+ months back. So have they progressed to the point, it's got notice of violation with pictures, but are they progressing to the point that they're actually doing some sort of resolution or something? So how do we know what's going on with some of these that are fairly?
I know it doesn't show the names or anything on there.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
But I would have to give me an example of an address or something.
Okay, there's one here, multiple nuisances, it's Kings Ridge Road, I'm not gonna give the address, but it's a pile of miscellaneous junk, old camper, overgrown weeds, and so I assume you're picking something in the thing because that's one of the drop down lists questions. That was dated warning notice written to property owner was 6/3, so June 3rd of 2025. It's got the case number, and it's got notice of violation with pictures. So how do we know how that thing's progressed? Because I think the idea was, supposed to be a timeline with this.
Yeah, that was one that they actually cleaned up at that time, took care of it. I'm actually getting ready to send another notice because it's kind of started over. I got another claim on that same property. And I think, I'm not sure if there is a thing in there that shows like how many days, or not how many days, but what's the word? I can't think of it, but I'm getting ready to cite that one again because and I talked to him personally. He said, I know that needs to be cleaned up now that whether the snow's gone, I can take care of that. But I believe he's been burning some things, and I was like, you're not supposed to. I don't know what you're burning, but there's only certain things you can burn, so we're kind of having that talk also.
So is the code enforcement board, is it meeting on a regular basis, or are we using them, or like intended?
We haven't had a meeting, since we were told that it was only if they appeal. Right, Nick?
Sure. All right.
And then I think I sent all you guys the email that I got from the Army Corps of Engineers, and then also Gino and Mike. They are wanting to do a campaign with the turnaround, don't drown signs. And they are wanting us as a county to do, I know we had a fatality during the flood, so they wanted us to do like location GPS on any roads that has happened, or any roads that are low lying that may happen somewhere, to put the permanent signs up. We may not get a sign for every spot, but we can turn in as many as we want to, the way I'm thinking this. And they only have a limited amount that they're gonna give out to each county, so I mean, I think that's a good idea. I believe Mike Ratliff is on board with that also.
So I mean, they're permanent signs, they're not barriers,
Yeah.
that somebody can drive around.
Right.
I can go out and do GPSs and stuff.
I mean, the biggest one, one of the reasons we got this is because we had a fatality during this year's flooding in April. And
I sent the owner directed him, I think, on GPS is what the issue was.
yeah. So once we get them marked, the Corps of Engineers will mark them with turnaround. It'll be the below line flooded areas.
So is KYTC doing this as well?
It's the
just up to
Silver
the Corps
Jackets.
Engineers.
Okay, so, I mean,
Silver
we're gonna
Jackets
start
on
with
the
state
phone.
roads.
Well, it doesn't matter if the Corps of Engineers.
Or state.
So regardless whether it's state or.
State or county, just in the county.
There was a barrier up, but somebody removed it on that.
And yeah, so that's why I was asking about the barriers, because they move them, they drive around them, they take them with.
But even if we have those signs up and we have flooding, we still need to put the barrier.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely,
So that's just a given right there. So,
absolutely.
once we get them up and we know they're up and, Mike and whoever puts them up, or the road department, takes pictures of them, whatever, we know they're up. But
Yeah.
we can't stop people from, turning them, moving them, and whatever, and that's what happened in this case. Anything else for solid waste?
On the FEMA part, we've got a lot of, we've got two, and I know this shows how slow it goes. Two just got obligated yesterday, so we know that money has been sent to the state. Whenever the state decides to send it to the county, we're not sure how long that takes, because, it's really slow. But we know that those two are obligated. We're one step to getting another one obligated, and then we still have, a few other ones of different roads. It takes, as long as that's kind of how far we are on the FEMA part of the damages for these projects.
That's a plus. If they got obligated, we're probably pretty much 99% sure we're gonna get somebody.
Yeah, we'll get 75% of whatever that amount of money is.
All right, anything else? Any questions for us? Okay, next is the animal shelter. Teresa, you may introduce your,
Yeah, just to let you guys know, we do have a new dog board. This is dog board, thanks from Fiscal. He started a couple weeks ago, he's doing a fine job. He's very thorough. I just wanted to introduce him to you guys. He doesn't have uniforms yet, they're on order, so in the next couple weeks, he'll actually have uniforms. Everything else is in my report, but Friday afternoon, I did have something come across. New 4-tubular out of Gallatin County will be sending the animal shelter $500 for donation. And also the caravan out of Louisville is coming back March the 17th to do cat spay neuter at the road department.
you pretty much have all those slots filled up right now, don't you?
This morning we had 7 meal slots left. All the females are full. And I just posted it yesterday.
You did, I was going to ask you did post it. Do you need us to post it on our county website, or do you just want to take care of it?
At this point, I'd like to sleep it on ours.
I think
By this afternoon, it's probably going to be.
it had 79 shares, I think, so people are paying attention to it sometimes. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is out and out there on.
Our actual website, we've got 4.9 people that follow us, share with each other.
It's a good program, and I'm glad they're doing that. Okay, anything else? Anybody got a question for Teresa? All right, Senior Center Director Francis.
You guys got
sheet that I sent you and the calendar and everything. I really don't have anything other than to just kind of inform the whole community that Sam Craddock will be here on March the 3rd. She's a local from here, from your county. She has went off to California and started her own business, and she's got her own TV show. The first viewing will be March the 2nd on a Monday. She'll be in our county on March the 3rd to watch the second taping. So if anybody would like to come, she'll be there at 1. We're going to watch it at 2 live. So.
Just to let you know, we are going to clean the carpet and stuff over the senior building. He's gonna start on tomorrow, right?
Yes, yes.
On the flooring and the carpet and stuff. Getting that taken care of. Okay, any questions for Francis?
Thank you.
Okay. Road Department Supervisor, Gino? Just what's going on there? Anybody got any questions or information for?
What's the estimated timeline for replacing the blue lit bulb?
We're waiting on a paper to get in, that's it, for permission from landowner, that's it.
Everything's in, ready to go, except that one
Yep.
landowner permission. And, you know, we're permitting, we're throwing it, as soon as we can. We're ready to go, let's just wait for that. All right.
I do, one quick question, I guess, as far as asphalt is concerned. So, is Hinkle gonna have their plant run this year, I assume?
Yes. We had to put that in.
Okay. I was just curious if there, I know last year they didn't know whether to start the old plant up, and they had a few problems with the temporary, so, but their plant is already up and running here.
I'd say yes.
Okay. Curious.
Well, we hadn't got so cold so quick last year, we had one for all right, Parks and Rec, JT. You have anything?
Like I said, Synergy, kind of Fridays, Synergy will be in here, one day this week to look at the light issue out there at the pickleball court, so. Everything else.
What I understand, why too, that Asbury will be in, we approved that to get that stuff fixed over there.
Right.
It came in less than what we thought it was gonna be, but that's a plus.
Yeah, my last conference with Asbury, when they get down here, is gonna be, they're gonna try to do everything in one swoop, while they're here, so that's the Littlefield, stanchion issue at the complex, and then
Yeah, fix the mischief.
Okay.
So one question I do have, and Dave, we've talked about this a little bit, just in general conversation, but I know the Yellow Jacket program, they're doing something different. I know there's some people that have passion around that program. I don't know, and you don't have to do it today, but at some point maybe give a little update on where we're headed, because I know we are funding some things, so what's, the county's obligations.
So, about, I'm gonna say 6 years ago or so, Trimble County left, a lot of surrounding counties left the football programs that were in. So Trimble left Madison, Swishland County left Madison, Olin left, I think Olin was actually going to Kentucky at one point, land. So, it's, it'll be us, Trimble, Swishland County, Pendleton County, Old County. And Andy left on again here, so. Well, your grandson has played, he played that league when we started. That was, when I was at Tremors, when we kind of got all that going. I think it's just a better opportunity. Plus it's an opportunity to have home games.
Yes, exactly.
And in the long run, is actually, versus what we pay per player to play down there, we pay a flat fee here, it's quite a bit cheaper. So.
Well, I appreciate that, because I had a few questions on where that program's headed, and they were like to hear that, you said, kind of going to more of a regional, pure county type thing.
Well, the thing is, I mean, you know, we're sending 50, 60 kids every week to Oakland County.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, that's a lot of people on the road, so on and so forth. I mean, there'll still be some travel, but, you know, now we'll have that lease, we're guaranteed the lease to.
Yeah.
Further than Gladys County, that was the furthest from travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carroll County.
And all the local county places. And it was a great time for the kids, you know. All that chance to win.
Yeah.
So that was a plus for them.
Well, I think it's gonna benefit our middle school and high school program if we keep our kids here in county, with our group. You know, I'm not saying the Trimble, but anyway, I've been, for the last couple of years, been in support to try to get this program started back in the county here.
And them little leagues also have the playoff games and also ended up having a Super Bowl at the end of the season. So it's actually a really good program for young kids to be into. So.
All right, any other, JP?
No, we got to, it said that there, it says, I don't know, I just not seen that. It says youth baseball camp, and that's just youth basketball camp that's going on Saturday.
Seen that.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Anybody have any questions, other questions for JP? Okay. EMA Director, Mike?
Yesterday, we had our EMS inspection with the state, and I wanted to brag on the crews. So he came in and he's done multiple inspections at multiple services, and he came to my office after he'd done an inspection on our vehicles. So when they do our inspections, they go through all of our equipment, all of our supplies and everything on our trucks, look over cleanliness and everything. And he said that our trucks were the best of any services that he has gone through, period. And he was showing me pictures of some of the services, you know, and it was pretty bad. But anyways, he said that he'd done a video of our trucks, and he was going to use that as an example for other services to show other directors of, hey, this is how you need to have your trucks. And he said that, you know, it was, he knows that all services, when they are coming in, expecting him to come, they're gonna do their quick cleans. He said, but you can tell the difference of when agencies are consistently keeping their vehicles clean and taking care of them versus a quick cleanup.
Yeah.
And he just said, you know, we have done an excellent job of keeping our vehicles maintained and clean and took care of it. And I just wanted to brag on the crews because they do such a good job of taking care of the equipment and stuff. And I was very proud of that he recognized that and said that. But the inspection went very well, and he gave high praise to everything in our service. So that meant a lot.
Just a footnote on that a little bit is that during the snow emergency stuff, we had more people on station, backup and whatever, but they did a great job keeping everything running and going, and you know, and along with our road department too. I know I've said this once before, but our county roads look really, really good compared to some of the other roads, not to mention, you know, I know state highway department had problems and we had problems in the county, but between our road department and personnel and National Guard and our ambulance people, we were on top of everything. So, you know, kudos to everybody who was involved in all that stuff. So,
Real quick, I did have one question on the storm siren, so that will be going out for bid. So that'll be in the papers.
I've got that typed up. I sent it to Matt to look over, and then I don't know from there what we'll do exactly, but hopefully we'll have it completely ready to go out.
So will it essentially be just an upgrade of every existing location we have now? Are we gonna look for, and so are we surveying to make sure we've got everything covered? We don't need additional sites, all that's done?
the other company I dealt with the other day is coming in to look at them also.
Okay, so just gotta make sure we get the cart before the horse.
we're good to go on and do what we, with grant money and whatever.
And we are currently having some issues with the systems right now.
Right.
Too. I'm trying to work on what we have right now and trying to get that system.
Well, the reason I could work in that time of the season is just.
Yeah, I mean, I worked, Thursday, the day of the storms, until 8 o'clock at night, trying to get what I could functioning and working, because during the winter months, we don't test the system.
Right.
But we had multiple batteries that were dead, I'm assuming probably because of the cold. So I had to replace multiple batteries, but I worked for hours on that. And then we're still working, and I've got the company who's working with me on it too. So we're doing what we can to get everything.
Okay, thanks for that update. Appreciate it.
Maintenance was done a lot this week with that, last week with the batteries and stuff. So you've probably seen that in the bills and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Director of Government Services, Matt, do you have anything?
Nothing except that's in my report, unless there's any questions or concerns.
Okay. Jailer, we have Matt's already left. His main thing was the 557 House bill, so we are in support of that. He knows that too, and so does Daniel. I talked to Daniel. They are working on the roof over there, should be doing some moving the gravel and all that stuff, so that should be under process, in process. So. Got the corner, Brent, you have any?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Vehicles are doing well? Okay. All right. Any got questions for the coroner or Matt or anybody? Okay. I've got a letter here to appoint Mike Kelly to the Carroll County Water District Board for his term, and it goes into effect April 10th. So that's informal, but I'll just make that appointment at their request from the Carroll County Water District Board, Toby Cox. Other thing is the Cat's Hop Pool. The pool heater is gone down. Pictures of it in the packet that you all got. We've got a price of it's a little over $9,000, almost $10,000 to replace that by Terry's. So we've kind of moving forward with that. It's 97.60. So May 3, just want to let y'all know if they've got any comments on that at all.
Do we have any idea what happened on Rick? I assume you looked at it. And it's in whole, I mean, was it installed?
2017.
So it was installed, okay, so 17.
That's the numbers match up to 2017.
But the pool.
And it runs nonstop year round.
So, anyway, with the new heaters we have in there for the pool itself, or the pool room, not the pool itself, working great, and the temps are staying up compared to the last two heaters we've had. This is maintaining well. It's doing better than the other two heaters that was in there. Probably not installed or was supposed to be there. The Fair Board, there's a request for Fair Board for the $12,000. Have their readout. I think each one of y'all got that. They gave me the whole income tax return thing, which I don't need. So, do you all, everything's good to go with that?
No, I appreciate the detail and the accountability for what's going on. They do a great job.
Okay. Any attorney comments? Okay. We'll start out with Scott today.
All right, not a whole lot. I guess just a quick question as we start getting back into road work season and stuff, that you've talked to Civil Con at all about,
Yes.
again, road stabilization and potential for widen.
They're coming, I'll just have to call them and see.
The other one too, I've had two people contact me recently about the ongoing issues with the walking path running parallel to Ladder Lane. When you get moisture and stuff, there's so much residue from Scott's mulch and mud from the trucks that it's just, so I don't know if we can scalp it with the skid steer run down through there and take, clean it up or something.
The problem is that was never intended to be part of the walking trail.
Okay, but it is.
But it's the side of the road.
Yeah.
We've let it off 2 or 3 times, especially in the summer. It's a losing battle.
But people are using it, and it's probably 2 hours of work, so to me, it makes sense to do it. I mean, I don't know. Because we got people, because the risk is, the individual was talking about, he's a runner, so he runs on the ladder lane, now he's up against the barriers, because he doesn't want to run in the mud. So, then you got a safety issue. And so, to me, the path is a great path. And I know Scott's is doing some work. They put in an apron, they paved, 300 feet, before there. That's helping a little bit. They repositioned mats and stuff. So, Mark Gish is trying to help out, but it's just, like I said, I don't think it's hours of work. I think if you scout clean the path off and get the grass off so the water will run off, I think
One thing I've noticed when I was out there is that the grass, the side is taller than the.
That's what I'm talking about, scouting
So
off.
maybe if y'all go out there, you, Gino, and you, Jimmy, one of you, or get somebody from the road department, go out there and look at it, see if we can cut that back a little bit, and try to keep some of that, water off of it or whatever.
Because it'll just run into the grass, because there's almost a little bit of grade to it, but it just gets dammed up, like you're saying.
That's what's blocking.
So
Mark and them went over there last year, we cleaned it off once for us, but, they offered it out, county property too, and I know they had a mess out there for a while, but if y'all can just go out there and look at it and get back with me and let me know what we need to do, we'll go try to get it taken care of. And you're not, it has been mentioned a couple of times.
So that's all I've had, Judge.
Clay?
I don't really have anything other than you got a lot of work that's gonna be coming up there before too long, so make sure everybody's careful what they do when they're moving around. Because they won't be working too long.
All right. Benji, District 1.
I do have a question for the North Key lady. I was going to ask. Last time we ever gave North Key funding was in 2022 before we came in. And the court asked North Key back then, well, in 23, if they ever wanted funding again or anything, to bring documentation of the past, I think it's 2019, 2020, or just 2019 to 2022. We never received any documentation, and I know you're the new CEO, and just curiosity, is there any way we could get documentation of, what taxpayers' dollars was going for at that time? Because we never got an answer back. And I know there was a lot of citizens from the county that went out there and asked, and they kind of got told, we're not obligated to talk to them. So, if that's what happened.
Okay.
Daniel, we talked about that in that meeting we had, and about what we used to do and how much money we put in it, if you remember.
Yep.
And everything, that's one reason we moved on with some other stuff, so.
And so 2019 through 2020.
22.
Yeah, COVID's when the wheels came off.
Yeah.
And then they never got back on. So,
Is y'all's office in Carroll County still open?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all the services that I listed on there and the employees, all of that stuff is all out of the Carroll office.
Is it 5 days a week, or is it, okay?
So 2019 through 2021. Okay.
Yeah. And then, Judge, let's see here, what else is there? Thank you.
Is it it?
No, I got more. I seen, the road department where y'all had kind of an incident with the backhoe and, where you cleaned out like a subdivision and busted the window out on the backhoe. I was gonna make a recommendation. Do y'all plan on using the backhoe to clean maybe subdivisions out in the near future again?
We have to, get a lot of snow, we have to.
So would you all be interested in a box that goes on the front of it to help push that? It's kind of got a breakaway, that way if you do hit a manhole, it doesn't rip it out of the ground again. The snow box.
Out the ground, this was the wind and the backhoe.
It happened to be right in front of my house. Gino heard that. Bang!
Well, so the snow boxes that usually go on the front of them, I know they got like a breakaway or something, kind of, you know, if you jar, because I've hit a manhole before in a skid steer, and it is not fun pushing snow. So it's just a recommendation. Let's see here. I'm waiting on the paperwork for the property owner of Blue Lake, so we can get that culvert changed out. I got a call today about, or the other day about Camp Ranch Road, about putting some rock on the end of it. I guess that's still counting down there for so many. If we could get some rock, that would be great. PJ, I was going to ask, Camp Ranch Road, here's another one. I know it was brought up a couple years ago, but the house burnt down there. Is there anything have we sent letters?
Yeah, we have letters. I mean, that's the Eddie Davis LLC, Boom Incorporated or something like that. I think it's the file at your office.
The house burnt down, it's in an LLC, and
Yeah, it's an LLC.
it's still there. I think that needs to be pressed through if anybody can do anything on that.
And it looks like, I'm not sure, I mean, in the beginning, they came down and cleaned up around, like that trash, but it looks like, as time has went on, it looks like people have kind of like been vandalizing and going inside, and I mean, it looks like there's other things being done.
Yeah, it's bad. And then, of course, I'm gonna ask you about the good old stinky place on 36, where we're in on the finding.
We've sent a second citation out.
The last few days, it's been crystal clear down there.
Yeah. It has smelled better, but it's 95, it's gonna smell great.
I'm doing it out, making an appointment last night.
I haven't heard anything, I haven't gotten any phone calls on that in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, too, I was gonna bring up, House Bill 500. I don't know if the courts looked that up, but that affects, some of the state, workers and their insurance and all that. I don't support it, but I ask y'all to, as the current wording right now, I don't support it.
Yeah, state, not county.
Not, state, not county. It's going to affect, state workers
Yeah.
and everything else. I just recommend y'all maybe reach out to Felicia and show no support for that. And then also too, I want to say, House Bill 557, what we just did to support of. I'm thankful for the court for supporting that, because since 2013, our jail has been losing money. 250,000, we're up to 1.5, 1.6 million, somewhere in that now. Just alone, I think we average 20 county inmates per day over there. Just the increase in them numbers will save Carroll County at a little over $200,000 a year. So that is a huge improvement for us in the county. So thank y'all for supporting that. And I hope it passes. And other than that, good. That's all I have.
Just what Benji was talking about, in the last conference I was at, Haskell on the jail was really supported by everybody there, all the judges and everything. So that's not just countywide, it's statewide. Everybody's having jail issues or detention issues, so.
Definitely a state problem.
So, anyway. That's all I have. I know the sheriff's here. Do you have anything to bring up? Anybody else? Danielle? Anybody got any open floor, Mike?
I did forget to let you all know, I met with industry, this past week. During that meeting I did discuss with them the issues with the trucks, going down Rock Road. And I'm going to get with them, we're gonna get some maps and stuff, and start handing them out to truckers, to try to get that issue resolved. And they wasn't aware of that problem, so they are going to work with me on that and try to help with that issue some, to keep trucks from going down Level Street.
In the last 3CDC meeting, we had some representatives there, talked to them. They recommended that if we get the courier's name and stuff, they could help us out a whole lot better. But they were gonna work on the situation like you talked to them. And I've talked to the sheriff about it. I just hadn't talked, I don't know if you talked to dispatch or the police department yet, about it. If we can get those courier names of those trucks, then they will help us out a whole lot.
Well, they said that they would also try to see if they could get that as well. So,
Last incident we had, Officer Nicewander with the Carroll PD did cite the driver out on Block Road, and he pled guilty and was fined and assessed his court costs. And of course, as you know, it's a moving violation for violating a traffic control device, so I'm assuming that'll go against his fastest score on the CDL.
And I think that's,
Pay attention.
I think that's one thing now, since you brought that up, Nick, was that since we have the signs up there now, that they can be cited. That's what I've been.
They can be.
So, all right. I did some more research on that. So, anyway, we do have the signs. State Highways put them up there, and helping us as much as we can with notifying all the GPS people out there that does all the GPS coordinations, directions and stuff. So, it's a constant thing to keep going. So, anybody got anything else to bring up in the fiscal court meeting today?
Judge, I just got a text from the Dwayne Willie from Rumpke, where we've been talking about the situation with those dumpsters out there.
Have it all?
Yes, have it all. This may be a question for you, Nick. They've tried to get those dumpsters several times. They're so full that they can't take them because they've stopped paying for them. They want the residents to pay for their own garbage pickup out there now because they're not paying their dues. Who do we cite if we have to send a letter? Who do we cite? Do we cite the whole committee?
The dumpsters are running over.
Yeah. The board has, the board,
When you cite the board,
I'll cite the board.
they're the ones that rented the dumpsters.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or anything?
That's not my question.
Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
My question.
Motion by
Can we go?